Elias, God bless you, sir. You're here.
You as well. Thanks for having me.
Listen to me, man. I have been watching your stuff with Bruce since I told you, since it was like 20,000 followers, and now you're at like an astronomical 3 million or something.
Yeah.
I find out you're local because I get a notification that it's like Elias Films followed you. I was like, what? Bruce? Like I screenshotted it immediately and sent it to my wife. I was like, it's Bruce.
That's awesome.
You know, and you do such a great job with your channel.
Thank you.
Like, tell me how you got going with Bruce. And for anybody who has not seen it, Elias Films, go right now, go meet Bruce. God bless him.
Yeah, appreciate it.
How'd you get going with Bruce?
So I've been involved with social media. I started with like a fishing channel, I bet you 7 years ago. And, you know, it didn't really go anywhere. The market was like flooded. You know, everyone's like, I want to be a fisherman and I want to put it on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. And it didn't work out. So I follow some fishing channels.
Oh, dude, it's the different knots and stuff. Like I can't help it.
So much fun.
They're so good.
And I love fishing, so I was like all into it. But yeah, it didn't go anywhere. So anyways, I met some folks out in Nampa, and they were already doing YouTube stuff and creating content and successful at it. And so they helped me a ton with just, I don't know, the direction that I wanted to go. And I ended up making a career out of it. And, you know, I have 4 boys. And so I started filming with them. Kids related stuff, you know, just aimless entertainment is all it was. It wasn't like educational or anything. Kind of wish it was now, but it was, you know, just entertainment and it paid the bills. So I was all about that for quite a while, probably. I still get paid from it, but I don't post to my channels anymore.
Sure.
But then I approached Bruce's stuff a little differently. Every year, I'm kind of into like the mental health and that kind of stuff. So I do an ice bath every January for 31 days. And I don't know, it's freezing up here, you know, in Idaho in January, very cold. And so this last year was my 4th year. And I have Bruce, of course. Excuse me, not this year before. So a year and a half ago. Yeah. It's my 4th year. And I decided, hey, let's get into Bruce's trough. It's frozen every day. And then I'll feed him different foods. Because I already knew that he was interested in like human food because I had put some donuts out there for the chickens. And it was like a lot of donuts. And I was like, oh, these chickens will eat them the next few days. And I went out there the next day and they were all gone. And I was like, what in the heck? And figured out Bruce had eaten them all. And I was like, okay, well, he's into sweets and bread. So let's approach this and see what he's into. So it was like a series, do cows like is what I was, you know, doing. Do cows like cotton candy? Do cows like whatever, bread? Do cows like, you know, so I was making something every day, trying different foods. And turns out he likes everything. He's like a nut about just food in general. And so I did that I ended up extending it for probably 2 months, every day, getting in his trough, breaking the ice, getting in the ice bath. And it was awful. So finally one day I was like, this sucks, because it was so windy one day and super cold. And I had this idea in the back of my head. I wanted to bring him into the house and feed him some pancakes. I had this, you know, in my head for a while. I was like, let's try it today, because I do not want to get in the ice bath today. So I brought him in the house, fed him some pancakes, and that video got like 70 million views, I think, in a week. And I was just like, what in the heck? How I had no idea that it was going to be that high, and, you know, that reach was going to be, it turned out awesome. And so I just kept doing that. So we brought him in the house again the following week, and same thing, you know, millions of views. So I was like, let's just keep it going. People like this. So that's how it all started. I've been doing it ever since. And that was probably like March of last year, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, I started with the ice bath stuff January 1st, 2024.
Right.
So about a year and a half.
I obviously have not been in content as long as you have, and I'm obviously not nearly as successful as you are, but I do know that you glossed over. I don't even know what you glossed over, but I know you glossed over a lot, because there's so much that goes into a production, even if it's like 30 seconds, that people don't understand. So I'm like, when you went and met the people in Nampa and you're like, hey, look, I got this fishing channel. It's not really, and, you know, what was it that you gleaned from them? Because a lot of times, like, here's the problem. All right. This is something I was thinking about last week. You cannot expect to have a successful, in my world, podcast. It was like, I'm hitting the 3-year mark literally this week. It's for 3 years from the first episode that got published.
That's awesome. 3 years. That's amazing.
Dude, I don't know anybody else who does it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm really I'm very lucky to have made it this far. Right. And it's only speeding up now. Right.
Yeah.
Like I finally kind of got over that threshold, but the thing is, like, there's a time element to it that no matter what you do, you can't beat the time. It's like, who knows anybody who's overwhelmingly successful immediately, but there's also this X factor and this grind factor where it's, looking at every single video and being like, how can I improve that? And then having this random, like, I don't know why my show works and it doesn't work for other people. And by the way, I don't know anyone who has a successful podcast. Like, I don't know anybody who gets paid. We all know of like national people, but I don't personally know anybody who's ever been successful doing this.
Yeah.
So there's that X factor, there's that grind, there's that kind of like you-ism, right? You remember You, Me, and Dupree?
I don't.
Right. Oh my God. It's just like Owen Wilson. You mean Dupree. So anyway, he's like, it's
a
your,
movie.
yeah. He's like, it's your Eliasness, right? That's his thing. He's like, he always says the name and then it's like, it's your Mattness. Like that.
Right. I gotcha.
But it's your it's like that thing that you bring to the table that resonates with people. And you're very lucky if you stumble upon it, right? Because you could have kept just going in the ice bath.
Yeah.
You bring the cow inside and all of a sudden it's like, everybody loves it.
Yeah.
So what was it, the initial information that you got or education that helped you continue moving towards that direction with your original channels?
Well, it's like we were kind of talking off camera, once again, you say, I'm lucky to be able to do this. You're lucky to be able to do this, but there is a drive for sure. Like I wasn't going to take no for an answer. Like as far as YouTube, being a YouTuber, like I was like, I'm going to do anything I can to make this happen. It's going to happen. I just have to keep doing it. And that's with social media, especially. As long as you're continuing to post and improving every time something different, then you're going to be successful eventually. It just takes a lot of work. And so initially starting out, luckily I had these folks to kind of model my channels around and what I was going to do to be successful. And that's been the case for so much of the social media stuff that I've done has been kind of modeling it around other people that have been successful and then just make it my own. Luckily with Bruce, it's very unique. And I don't know that anybody else has done anything like that with him. So I guess in that standard, I did get lucky, but there was still this grind like you're talking about. I just was going, I'm going to make this work. This is going to happen. And you have to believe that and you have to truly work for it. And you're doing that as well. 3 years with podcasts. And you told me already you're doing like 4 or 5 episodes today. That's crazy, man. That's so cool.
Thank you. I sat down with a friend of mine. She was helping me kind of, she's a business consultant lady, wild, awesome woman, like really smart. She's actually published a book, The Wild Advantage. She came from corporate America and she figured out that a lot of times people get stuck and they go for walks. They're like, oh, I should just go for a walk, right? Smart people know that they need to remove themselves from the problem and just kind of go outside. Yeah. So she's like, why? Like, why not just get a drink of water? Like, why going for walks? So she started figuring out, she's like, hey, something happens when you leave, right? So she started going on these hikes. She also got like totally ground down to oblivion with her own work. And she was totally overworked, exhausted, classic corporate, industry burnout.
Yeah.
So she commits to going for this a hike in January in Idaho every single day, no matter what, for 30 days straight. Her productivity skyrocketed. Like she had better perspective. She had better work life, all of these things. She's like, why? I literally just hiked for a half an hour a day and like everything about my work is better. So she did all this research, she did a TED Talk, all these things. And she's very kind, takes some time and like helps, gives me advice. But we were sitting down the other day. She's like, okay, so how many shows? Like, we're kind of looking at an annual calendar. We ironed out that it's roughly 475 shows each year.
Wow.
It is an ask because I was like, I'm going to do roughly 200 during the entire legislative session. We're just doing like 4 a day every single day. So, and then, the weekend. But so, yeah, like you when you talk about drive, that's 1,000% what the only thing that has gotten me through
Yeah.
Because if you were at a social media for years and years, and again, with a degree of success, right? But before you hit this one, so it's like winning, 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 astronomical win.
Yeah.
And you never get to that astronomical win if you stop.
Yeah.
And it's such a grind, and you got to like believe that it's going to work.
Yeah, for sure. And you have to try. Like, you're not going to be successful if you don't try. That's 100% guaranteed. You won't be successful if you don't try. If you try, you might not, but keep trying. Eventually you're going to get there. And that's all it is with anything and life in general, but specifically social media. People always ask me, how do I do it? What do I do?
Yeah.
Just start. Post a video. Doesn't matter what it is, and then make your next video better. And then once you finally hit a certain amount, you're going to be successful at one of them. Keep doing that until you find your niche or whatever it is, and keep doing it.
Do you think that the whole starting, because I heard Dave Chappelle actually after one of his specials, they published, again, I didn't see the special in person, but when they published the video of his special, they had like a Q&A at the end of it, where he was talking to some audience members, and one of the audience members is like, hey, look, how did you get started? Because he's like, this guy was really admiring. He's like, I see you up here. Like, I hear you. It's blowing my mind. Like, I would love to do that. And Chappelle's, of course, like, damn, man, I make this look easy, I guess. It makes a joke. He was like, you just start.
Yeah.
He's like, there is no other way to do it.
Yeah.
And do you think that mirrors what you've done in that with creative endeavors, right? Like, you don't wait for the creativity to be just right. You just start creating. And through that process of creating, like, it gets refined. Like, what do you think that is?
Yeah, absolutely. What you said, you just refine it as you're going. And I don't know, I kind of suggest for people that are starting social media to find something that is successful, something that you want to do similar to somebody, and make it your own. Like I was saying earlier, you just kind of make it your own. Where, like I had told you, mine is very unique, where I don't have anyone to model it off of or go off of. So that's not usually the case, though. Usually you have someone like you're aspiring to be at this level or with this person, this genre, whatever, this category. Right. Yeah. But you just find that and model yours around that, make it your own, add a little flair to it, something different that they don't do, anything can be improved on. It's just got to try for it.
Yeah, I have a buddy, Tom, who is an artist. He's actually like a certified Disney artist. I didn't know those were a thing, but like, you get licenses to be an official Disney artist, right? So you have a lot of connoisseurs of Disney art, and anybody can draw Mickey Mouse, but to have like a Disney licensed Mickey Mouse is a thing in the Disney art world, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And Tom was an individual just working a normal job, had a couple kids, and I guess, he had this real creative inclination. And I guess he was telling me once, he was like, I was up at like 11:30, just staring at the ceiling, he was like, all right, so I got to wake up at 5 a.m., go to work, come home, pay the bills, and I'm just going to do this for the next 40 years until I die. And he was like, I got to try.
Yeah.
So Tom, having a normal job, starts waking up at 4 a.m., going downstairs, and he just starts drawing, right? He's like, I wasn't drawing anything in particular. I wasn't drawing for anyone. He was like, I didn't even know what I was drawing. He was like, but he starts making this art, and he starts getting out this body of work, and it starts getting better and better and better. And then I think he said 4 years in, he had submitted some piece of art to someone, and somebody was like, whoa, that's awesome. And he's like, oh, well, thanks, man. Yeah. And then he does like some Disney stuff, and then he gets this license at like 6 or 7 years, and now he's this professional artist.
Wow.
And it's almost like what the story is.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
It's just in a different venue.
For sure. It's man, it's hard because I'm pretty close with my sister. Well, very close with my sister, and I try and there's almost like this awakening where it's like, you can do that if like your buddy Tom, he wants to be an artist and do that professionally, then he 100% can. But waking up at 4 o'clock and going to practice being an artist, that's what it takes. You have to You have to do it. And once you discover that, you can apply that to anything in your life. You're like, oh, wow, I just need to wake up at 4 a.m. and do whatever it is I'm after. And I don't know. It's obviously it's a struggle because it's so much easier to stay in bed and do nothing and, sleep in. But there's a lot of discipline in life where it snowballs. You get up at 4 a.m, do your art, then you're awake. And you're like, well, let's walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes or let's eat healthy because I did that as well. I don't want that to negate my treadmill walk. Now I'm going to eat some donuts. Let's have some eggs,
right.
or whatever, so it just snowballs into this huge bettering your life, basically.
Where did you get that from? Right. Like I was a D1 athlete in college. I know where I got like my
wrestler.
I did wrestle in high school. I do jiu-jitsu now. That's why I have cauliflower ear.
Nice.
Yeah. I did my first on location episode the other day at a dairy. And
cool.
because it was on location, we didn't have the whole rig, right? With the big
Right.
microphones. We just had lapel mics, no headphones. And it's the first time my cauliflower ear is like really prominent. I'm like, God, man, you can't miss it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. You should be proud of that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Well, it's the one thing you can buy a tattoo. You ain't buying this.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I was a rower in college. I'm an avid athlete.
Yeah.
So I knew where that came from for me. So I was like, all right, listen, I know how to grind. I'm just going to grind with this. Where did it come from with you? Like,
that's a good question. I think it's just a discovery of so many different things that I've tried, like with the ice baths, with my diet. I think we were talking a little bit before this. I haven't had bread or processed sugar for 3.5 years now. And I haven't cheated once on that. Not at all. Not even a little bit. It's just straight. No processed sugar, no bread.
God bless it, man.
It's rough sometimes. I mean, now at this point, it's just my life,
Sure.
it's not a big deal. But for the first month, especially, few months was really rough because it's so awkward. I'm like, go out to dinner with someone or go to someone's house and have dinner, and I'm like, well, I can't eat that. Does it have any sugar in it? Can I look at the ingredients? And it's embarrassing, but I don't know. I decided that for myself that I wanted to do that. I was going to do 1 month of that. And after the month, I was like, why would I go back? That's so dumb. Like I gained nothing from these sugars, from this flour. There's no benefit other than taste, It does taste good for sure, but there's other options. There's so many natural sugars, honey. I eat a lot of honey, maple syrup, fruits, and it's like, why not just do that? That can be a treat, and your taste buds really adjust to fruits and stuff, And I've done a lot of fasting as well, but.
Dude, you're in it. You're that guy.
Yeah.
What happened once you did that? 3.5 years. Like, did you feel a noticeable difference in your body?
For sure. Yeah. Big difference, especially initially after the first little bit of, 3 weeks of really rough, like, oh man, I'm craving that, or why can't I have that, or whatever. But I had a lot of like stomach pain for a while. I don't know what it was. I even went in and got tested. Like, they did everything, blood tests, everything, and didn't find anything. So I was like, let's just switch this diet up and stick with it. And I did. Yeah. And I feel great. Never have any issues now, stomach pains or anything. So.
Okay. You got 4 kids.
Yeah.
What do you do with your boys?
So
Like, are they on the journey you're on?
No, that's something a lot of people ask, and I don't want to force anything on them. All the options that I do are available to them, and a lot of the times they just choose that anyways. And for me, it's like, like I eat this specific ice cream. What's it called? Ice cream for bears. I love their stuff. But they sweeten their ice cream with honey, raw honey.
You said this ice cream for bears?
Yeah.
Is it made locally?
I don't think so.
Forget it. It doesn't matter. I'm all in.
No, but they're not.
Okay.
I wish they were. I've reached out to them a few times, like, hey man, let's do something together because I love their.
Did they reach back out?
They've liked my comment or liked my messages and
Fools,
stuff.
absolute fools. If I saw Bruce going through a gallon of ice cream for parents, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, it's great stuff. But
God, they need to fire their social media manager instantaneously.
no, nothing against them at all. No, I get it. It should have been ice cream for cows. Then maybe they'd be interested.
Oh my God.
But yeah, raw honey is what they sweeten their ice cream with, and so it's like there's no processed sugars, and why not use that option, instead of whatever name brand ice cream you can pick,
Yeah.
That's just a better option for your health, I think. But anyways, my kids are into that kind of stuff as well. They don't even know. They're not like, oh, this is raw honey, great, let's eat that instead. They don't care. But a lot of options that I have, I'll make peanut butter and apples, and they're just like, yeah, give me some of that. They don't really care.
Yeah.
But it's available to them is what I mean, the way I eat, and they typically choose that option versus whatever. If they want macaroni or grilled cheese, I'll make that for them as well.
Yeah. Or if they go to like the social aspect is like the birthday party, right? Like that's the one where you're like,
for sure.
Like I have a friend whose daughter, they're very, very strict with the diet. Like no processed sugar, no wheat, no nothing. And this kid's like 9, right? Wow. And I feel really bad about this. This was like last 4th of July. It's like a year and 2 months ago, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's this little parade in the neighborhood, like 4th of July parade. Awesome. Right. Everybody on their bicycles and stuff. Yeah. And at the end point, there's a kid. There are a bunch of teenagers in the neighborhood who always maintain this like snow cone enterprise.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it gets passed from teenager to teenager as they graduate. Nice. Pretty cool. It's like awesome. Yeah. And it's like classic snow cones, right? Like grinding the ice, and they never grind it fast enough, so it always partially melts. And it's like you got to be on your game when you're doing good snow cones, sure. Right? Yeah. Anyway, so they like snow cones. So I go up and see my friend. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, oh, I was like, what? Oh no, what happened, man? We're standing in the middle of the parking lot. It's like, this is where the parade's ending. Everybody's having, like, what's going on? She's like, we're just poisoning our children. I was like, wait, what? She's like, look at this, high fructose corn syrup and sugar and pizza and her daughter was like really upset because her daughter's 9, right?
Oh no.
And it's like, wants it. And I was like, right as I was about to say something, my 8-year-old, who was 7 at the time, walks up. His whole mouth is orange because he's eating the snow cone. I'm like, hey, bud, meet my friend. I just feel it's like that thing. It's like the social thing when you go to the birthday party. And like, I had a student years ago, this guy, Tristan, whose mom was totally on it. And Tristan had like real significant wheat allergies, but she would have to bring a dessert for Tristan whenever he'd go to like a kid's birthday party. Cause like, she didn't want him to miss out.
Right.
And it's like, he wasn't eating the cake and stuff too. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to, with my kids, at least, I don't want to be like, you can't have that or you can't eat that, because more than likely when they grow up, they're not going to choose the same diet that I have or lifestyle that I have. I mean, the odds are very slim that that'll happen. So I feel like if I completely remove everything like from their diet that I'm doing for my diet, then when they grow up and start eating that stuff, they could potentially have allergies, and it could mess with them pretty poorly. Hopefully they'll just like build a little bit of an immunity to this bad stuff. So I don't know. I don't want to shock their bodies once they're on their own and they're like, just eating ramen and cakes and whatever, And so I don't know. I don't want to be exclusive with them and be like,
sure,
you can't have that. No. So, but obviously limit how much.
Yeah, right. Everything in moderation. Sure. Our kids, we don't do a lot of that stuff either. Dude, I made ice cream the other day from scratch, and so somebody gave us. Do you have an ice cream maker?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
yeah.
Somebody gave us this ice cream maker for like our wedding or something,
for
right?
Like KitchenAid one or
Cuisinart.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay, we've never used it. Okay, we got it like 17 years ago, and we've been schlepping it around in the box for like 17 years. So my 11-year-old finds it like a month ago. He's like, hey, what's up with this thing? Like, are we going to make ice cream or what? And I'm like, yeah, so it's the type where you have the cylinder that goes in it, but you have to freeze the cylinder overnight. And I was like, well, yeah. And I'm really bothered by our reliance on gadgets.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, no, like I built a table last night. Okay. 12 feet long, 3 still like built, like went to Home Depot, purchased wood and built the whole thing. And it was done by 9 o'clock. I like, or 9:30. I started after dinner too. And it's like, if you know how to put together a table, you can build a 12-foot long redwood table almost instantaneously if you know how to put everything together.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Like no plans. Totally. It was like 30 inches and 1.5 about, okay. So it's 20.
Yeah.
Anyway, big into it. Right.
For sure.
And the point is, so I'm like, all right, well, look, we'll put the ice cream thing in the freezer. But then it was one of those things where I knew it's like, we're going to forget tomorrow, or like the enthusiasm. I was like, no, we're making ice cream today. And they're like, how? The thing's in the freezer. I'm like, we don't need that. So I got 2 stainless steel bowls, went to the store, got a bunch of ice and rock salt. And then we picked up a paint stirrer from Home Depot.
Nice.
Like one of those
the
big
drill.
paddles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it into my DeWalt. We sit there for a half an hour drilling into the bowl. Cause we have, again, there's like small bowl, large bowl, bunch of ice, and we totally make ice cream.
That's
and it was
awesome.
like, dude, it worked.
Yeah.
Like it worked. Like we can do this without, all that nonsense. And it's like, they didn't know that it was sweetened with, maple syrup.
Yeah.
They didn't know that it was like, they were just happy that they got ice cream. And it's almost like, when did we allow the food industry to tell us what fun was?
Yeah.
Like tell us what the treats were. It's like, no, man, I can make my own treats.
For sure. And that's, oh man, it's crazy how reliant we are on the food industry. And like, it's so convenient to just go buy whatever, wherever, it's everywhere, fast food or in the grocery store, even. It's just so much garbage in there. But I don't know. It really is sad, but there's so many options. There's so many options to do it for yourself, or, you just have to put in a little work, like with the ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like the kids love that. It's more rewarding. And I don't know, having a garden, having your own animals, whatever it is, chickens for eggs. And I know that's not accessible to everybody, but
Sure.
But it is.
For the lucky few, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
or if it's not accessible to you and you want to make it accessible, like we all make decisions.
Yeah.
Right. Like I moved from the state that shall not be named. Like we make decisions. It's like this life is not matching me, right? It's not matching my family. It's not matching my boys in particular. Like they were not best served in that community, in that style of life. I was like, so, we left both our families to move here. I mean, like you make sacrifices and, that's it.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's a big move.
It did. It was a lot, but it's so much better.
Yeah.
Like it is right. Like it matches us.
Yeah.
Like if I want to build a table now, I got a 1,200 square foot shop.
Yeah.
It's like unload the wood. I got some crummy old 20-year-old Nissan Frontier. Go get the wood, throw it in the back. Like boom, we're off and running. We got the table there. It was, I had like this tiny 2-car garage and like everything was always in the driveway. And it was like, it just didn't for my interests.
Yeah.
When you're talking about fun, right? Starting your current channel and engaging with Bruce, especially when you start getting, you're like, oh, people like this, right? There's a honeymoon period where you just, every video is like Christmas Day. You're like, publish, and then you're, it's like for the next 48 hours, you just watch it skyrocket. And then there's the, now it's work.
Yeah.
Right? Or, like, who was the first hater you got? Did you get like PETA coming after you or something?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, everybody. Like, that's part of, going back to the grind part of it, all of it.
You want some more coffee? Oh, you got.
No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm kind of slow with this.
No, listen, man. I ain't got nothing but time, baby. I'm sitting here talking about cows.
Yeah, that's right. With the grind period, like I told you, I wasn't going to take no for an answer. That was the case with my YouTube channels. And then also with Bruce, I had all kinds of people coming after me, like you said, PETA and whoever else. Like, this is animal cruelty. You can't feed him human food. And really, it's just like a lack of knowledge of these animals, of these creatures. And I got my TikTok got banned completely for a day. Like, I was just like,
for giving Bruce a banana.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not the banana specifically, but yeah, human food really is what they're after. So, I kept
pasta episode. He definitely went after that.
Yeah. But I got, I think it's 3 strikes with TikTok. I think it's same with YouTube, 3. Anyways, I had all these like community guideline strikes on TikTok because of that reason. And then banned for the day, completely banned. I couldn't post. I couldn't view anything. They removed everything. And luckily I was able to appeal it, and they approved my appeal. And I don't know, now those strikes have gone away, but you know, everybody all at once was coming after me. But it's hard not to get that when you get these big views, like, you know, 100 million views on a video, and, you know, 1% of that, not even 1%, you know, I don't know, 0.1% is complaining. And I think with TikTok and a lot of these platforms, so many complaints of the same complaint, they just automatically are like,
yeah,
this is legit, let's pull it down or give them a strike or whatever. So luckily, like I said, I was able to appeal that, but keeping the grind going and not stopping even despite all of these hiccups is key, man. It's what saved it all. You know, I could have been like, oh man, that sucks, I'm done now, I'm not going to post anymore, but
right,
just keep going.
He had somebody told me something. There's this gal I do that does social media, like safety stuff. And I also, that's something that concerns me a lot. And I've been working a lot with like the State Department of Education and whatnot to, you know, inform people that, hey, look, the Idaho public education now is participating in adding technological risk into young people's lives. They're handing out Chromebooks.
Yeah.
These Chromebooks are not 100% safe. Everybody understands that. And we need to warn and educate parents, right? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying you don't need it. None of my affair. I'm not the educator. If you're saying you absolutely have to have this Chromebook to teach English, okay, I don't understand that, but like, fine. But if you know that Chromebook is dangerous, you got to do something about it. Anyway, there's this gal, Nikki, who has this Instagram channel, Scrolling to Death, and she's a huge advocate for reducing technology and warning people about the risks. I mean, it's real substantial.
Yeah.
And she told me something. She came on the show, and you know, we've been, you know, working together on a couple things. And her anxiety was like, look, I don't want any of these channels to own my voice. Yeah. And that really paused me for a second. I was like, you don't want, like, what do you mean? She was like, my audience needs to know me outside of Instagram, outside of YouTube, outside of, you know, wherever it might be. I don't know if she messes with TikTok. She's pretty hard on TikTok.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And that's something that really paused me too. I got a guideline strike with a previous channel that had my old podcast. And then with this one, amazing. So I did 2 episodes with Southwest District Health in the state of Idaho. Southwest District Health removed the noteworthy vaccine that came out in the last couple of years. I got to be actually kind of careful. Okay. And fair enough. The Southwest, the way health districts work in Idaho is you have a board, and then you, that monitors what the health district does. And the health district is there to help create and maintain like a base level of healthcare. So like you have discounted inoculation. Say you want like the polio vaccine, but you can't afford it for you and your kid. Like they help provide those things.
Gotcha.
You can get all of these things with your primary care physician, right? But they also help subsidize them and things like that. So they had removed that particular therapy. Okay.
Gotcha.
So I had the board physician member, actual practicing doctor in Idaho, come in and like, can you explain to me why and how you did this, right? Like what was it that made you, because this is running counter to what a lot of other medical professionals and industry members say. So we have this conversation. And then of course I have on someone who's a former CEO of St. Luke's come on and say what, like the opposite position. So this one physician, you know, felt it should be removed and this other physician did not. Okay, great. Both sides. And by the way, I'm an idiot. So like, don't look to me for medical advice.
Right.
I'm curious about what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to make the original episode live on YouTube because I loaded it, right? And then sent it to a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, can you just watch this and let me know what you think? Because like I like feedback. It didn't last 24 hours. It wasn't even listed. Wow. It wasn't for public consumption. Wow. It literally was just on YouTube. Nobody could find it unless you had the link, and they removed it. Huh. And that, I got a guideline strike, had to go to like, you know, guideline strike school.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
The thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like 90 days and then it went away.
Yeah.
But that stopped me. So like, it reminded me of what Nikki said, which is, look, these platforms own your voice, right? Is that something that you, and I know this is kind of getting like heady, but like, is that something you worry about or not as much?
Luckily with my stuff, I've really been vague about, or I mean, not at all. I haven't spoke of, where I stand politically or
Sure.
anything that's controversial. I just don't deal with at all.
Yeah, but not from like taking a position on medical therapies, but like just acting as you do with Bruce, which is awesome, by the way. Like it's probably the most loved cow I've ever met. Never met, actually, ever seen. I'd love to meet him one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with him, do you worry about like there's going to be like a large enough movement and then you're going to get the wrong person at like YouTube or Instagram that'll be like, yeah, forget this guy and his cow.
Yeah. I mean, there's always that potential for sure. And like I said, it already happened with TikTok, but I don't know. I feel like because I don't really make a stance on anything at all controversial, it's not really an issue typically, other than like what I'm feeding him and whatever. I don't know. There has been people, that would be the only thing, like, oh, you're feeding him human food. This isn't okay. Let's remove it. That would be the only thing. But it goes back again once to the grind thing. Like, I'm not going to stop even if I do get taken down or whatever. I'll figure something else out. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a worry always, but it's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going no matter what.
The openness of the platform, right? Like I think you said right before we got going, like anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can start a channel. Was that something that kind of encouraged you and invigorated you, or was that something when you started that was kind of daunting? It's like, well, it's like me against the world.
When I first started, yeah, it was with the fishing stuff for sure. But then with the other stuff with the kids related channels, it wasn't as much. But now it's like, luckily I have that very, I don't know, no one else is bringing their cow into their house, So it's, for me, I have that going for me. But it is like anyone that wants to start now, there's so many people on social media now. Everybody's uploading, and that's like the number one answer for younger folks, kids, our kids' ages that are wanting to do when they grow up. They want to be a YouTuber or social media influencer. That's what everybody wants to do. Every kid, they'll tell you that for the most part. Right. So,
my boys are like, I want to be a podcaster.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah. But I mean, it takes a lot of work and a lot of drive. And I think that's what, you and I have going for us, is that we're going to keep pushing. And a lot of people aren't going to do that. They're not going to, either they don't have the time or the drive or the will to keep going.
Yeah, they just don't have it. Yeah. Like you have that X factor too. Is this something that you would deter your kids from doing? Or would you be like, yeah, it's a great idea?
No, I definitely wouldn't deter them. I would encourage it for sure. But I mean, the odds of it happening are pretty slim, and they would have to, I don't know. It's hard to explain that to somebody, that you have to grind so much. And you have to obsess over it. That's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You have to be obsessed about this thing, whatever it is you're wanting to do. And with social media, for me, I was very obsessed with it for a long time and figuring out what it was going to take to make it happen. And that's all it takes. Be obsessed with that one thing and do it. You got to figure out everything, every angle, what works, what doesn't work, why it doesn't work,
right,
and make it happen.
Yeah, and the joy that you can get from watching your channel, I think, and again, I'm so impressed with your stuff because the fun of it betrays the effort that goes into it. And again, as I was telling you before, like, unless you make content, you wouldn't know all, like, the lighting, the mics, like the different camera angles, the color correction and consistency with coloring from one shot to the next. It's like all of these little things. It's like, dude, this is really hard. And people look at, look, when I was like first into my like content journey years ago, and I remember the first, like, I had a Facebook, right? But the first intentional platform that I put out was Matt Todd University.
Nice.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. So it was my SAT prep, right?
Oh, cool.
And so I would look at these videos of people doing math and education online. I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, I could do better than this. And you start doing, you're like, oh, mine's terrible. This is really bad.
Yeah, there's
Right.
definitely a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. And so what I figured out is I started doing these math videos where I'm like, okay, I can't just be another guy working through a math problem, because other people also, it's almost like you start prescribing to the viewer what they should like. You should like less entertainment and more math. So you go like very dry math. You're like, I'm going to explain this problem perfectly. And it's like, that's not entertaining.
Yeah.
He's like, but it shouldn't be entertainment. It should be educational. It's like this argument you have in your head. It's like, well, if it doesn't work, then no one cares what that's.
Yeah.
So I started figuring out like, okay, you got to have, like, you got to be fun, because I like having fun. It's like, stop being this like stuff, like just be fun, right?
Right.
So this was my format. I got like really excited about this. I would take my iPad, I would screen record on my iPad. So I'd have a math problem on the iPad, and I have my iPencil, and then I would turn on Zoom, and then I'd do a virtual background. Okay. So I'd put the virtual background on as a green screen. So
nice.
Zoom did all the work on the green screen, right? And then I would turn on a snap filter and put different faces on me. So like I would be like a jacked, like weightlifter guy, or I'd be an orangutan, or the potato. Like the classic one was the potato on Snapchat or Snap
sweet.
Camera, right?
Nice.
And so then, because it was a green screen, I would do the screen record on the iPad. So you saw all of the writing I was putting down as I'm like screaming, I'm like, look at this dumb geometry problem. And it's like the orangutan,
Yeah.
and then I would put I'd take out the green on the green screen, and then I put that video on top of the math thing. And people started going crazy, because it was like, why is there an orangutan explaining this algebra problem to me? Like, it was great. Like, and that was the thing. But I found that format, and I was like, oh, you got to find your thing, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
You just got to go with that.
Yep.
And, if you're you, it's the most cliche thing. If you're you, nobody's going to beat you.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to be somebody else, you got a whole lot of people competing to be somebody else. Specifically that guy, whoever that guy or gal is that you're trying to be, they already beat you, because they're already them.
Yeah.
Right. And it's believing that you'll find that niche. I find that like really gets into it.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you nailed it with the, just adding a little extra flair to it, being an orangutan or whatever like that.
I gotta see if I can find that, because it's really hard to explain, but it's, once you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. With your original kid channels, what were you doing with them?
It was just like chase videos, Hulk, Spider-Man dressing up, having, I had the kids actually pretending like they were driving, and, I actually got some community guideline strikes on those too, because,
like safety risks?
Yeah. I was just like, and I was going like in my neighborhood, or, super slow, just make it look like they're driving.
Oh, bro, here we go. Check this out. You ready?
Yeah. Let's see.
Listen to me. Triangle PQR. PQR.
And all of these videos,
that is
all
awesome.
of these videos were like this was the Vikings.
That's genius. That is genius.
And
Why
like,
not?
Yeah, like just have like put the Viking helmet on, and there's like you couldn't see it, but there's snow falling.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well,
Anyway,
there's,
I'm
like-
sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, no. You're good. There's with my content, the goal has pretty much always been like, I want it to be entertainment, and that's pretty much it. No stances on anything, no negativity, no,
Sure.
and I get so many messages like that where people are like, man, you just made my day. I had the worst day of my life today, and I watched your video and it made my day. I'm like, oh, that's what it's about. That is exactly what it's about. And anyone in the world can watch the content, and that's been a goal from the start as well, is very minimum talking. I don't talk pretty much at all, like you're saying, ASMR kind of style.
Yeah.
And then the angles are more like Napoleon Dynamite feel, where
Yes.
it's like this camera's not moving with me. It feels like you're watching from whatever angle I'm choosing.
Right.
And it's when you have that movement with the camera, you're like, oh, how are they filming this? Or what's
There's a production.
yeah,
It's not voyeurism.
there's a recognition of
Yes.
the camera. The camera itself is moving, and so
I
I don't know.
noticed that with the Roaring Springs episode. Somebody moved the camera,
Yeah.
and I know instantaneously. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he has somebody filming him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that it was a bad video, but I was just like, there's a like I picked it up instantly. Yeah.
That's so funny you say that because
I know the episode too. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That was our last episode we filmed, but that was a fun time going to the water park with Bruce.
Dude, and then when you jump in with the Holstein inflatable,
Oh, yeah.
as Bruce is eating the grass.
Yeah.
Did they shut down the whole park for you and Bruce?
No, we went early, so they don't open till like 11. So it was like 7:30. We showed up, shot till 10:30. So it's like 3 hours of filming, and it's just like, dude, we were crunching for time. And I was like, if we have to come back and film again, we can, but let's try and bust this out.
Yeah.
So that's fun. It's really fun to be able to do stuff like that where it's like, what in the heck? Why is it a cow at a water park? But people scrolling are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like that's entertainment. That's all it is. Take your mind off of whatever. I mean, it's so negative online, whatever, fighting videos or political videos or people just so opinionated, and I don't know. It's just like aimless entertainment where you can just watch, have a laugh, and
Dude, you can watch way too much.
Yeah.
Your giant like 4-foot popcorn.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're trying to do another one. I actually just ordered a spoiler alert here. It'll be coming out eventually, but it's like a giant Chinese takeout box. And so we're going to do like a Chinese food video with that, similar to the popcorn one.
God, that's going to be a lot of chow mein.
Oh, I know. I haven't decided yet what we're going to do. Either like noodles or I was going to do fortune cookies, but they got the paper inside. So I was like, yeah, that really won't work. So if there's a way we could find like a giant wok and do like be awesome.
with snow shovels.
Yeah.
It'd be like Uncle Buck.
Yeah, for sure. That would be awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
Like the other thing, again, I know I've been complimenting you endlessly, but one more that you brought up, the style, like ASMR, like you also you say Bruce like 3 times per video. And you wait until like at least the 8-second mark.
Yeah.
And it's just enough where it's like there's this ridiculousness and the person's watching it, they're like, what? You're like, oh, Bruce.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so, man, I'm dying just thinking about it. Like it's just so on point. I assume that just kind of happened organically as you're editing. Because if you started the video with like, oh, Bruce, like it would kind of get worn out, but it's this almost like, it's like a turbo, like, Fast and Furious, they have the nitro button.
Oh yeah.
It's like, boom, they hit it right at the peak of the RPMs.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely appreciate the recognition of that because, a lot of people aren't going to catch all those things, but
dude, I'm watching, I'm like, this guy's putting in the work.
I appreciate it, man. It's a lot. Bringing him in the house he actually, we'll talk about his size a little. He's 5'6" last time we measured him, which was, I don't know, probably 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
So 5'6" to the top of his back. And then he's 1,700 pounds. We just weighed him. And so he's a big boy. He's very wide. I should measure his width because him coming through the sliding glass door in the back is like tight. He's getting pretty fat.
He's getting there.
So bringing him in is a lot of work. And then
Cleaning up after him.
cleaning up is crazy, because he's not potty trained, as you can imagine. So,
How frequently does that happen in the house? Like every other video?
probably not as often with him. So I've got him, and then I have Buttons, the younger one. I like to think that he's like learning, because it's the weirdest thing. He'll like go outside. We'll take him for breaks, outside, just to leave him while we set up something, and then he'll actually use the bathroom and then come back in. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know if it's something real or not, but
it appears that it's working.
Yeah,
They're
sure.
potty trained.
Yeah. The younger one, definitely not. She's like, any chance she's crapping or peeing, or it's bad. I think the pee is worse than the crap, man, because it just like splashes everywhere, and it's like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Get the towels out, the disinfectant, all of that.
And they're not peeing like a small amount.
No.
These are cows.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Is Bruce a steer?
Yeah,
okay.
He's a steer.
Okay.
So I had actually moved out to the country probably 2.5 years ago.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I got to get a cow. Let's get one. So so we just looked on, I think Craigslist or something, and found some. And Simplot they were selling some from their dairy, and $100 for a steer. The dairies don't want the steers, obviously. And so I was like, yeah, let's go get him. So we went and got him and bottle fed him for, I think it's 82 days. You bottle feed them every day. And once they're bottle fed, they're super friendly. And so I just, he was my little buddy. Just would hang out with him and go out in the pasture with him. And and then started doing the food stuff like I told you. It's like God. The odds of all this happening are none. I don't know how it happened.
But this is kind of what I failed to articulate it correctly earlier. Because anybody can jump on, the odds of this happening are like 0.
Yeah.
But with 1 million or 10 or 100 million iterations, it's like the monkey will get it right once. Right. So it's like whoever it is, however long it takes, you happen to have, this is what, again, a beautiful combination of things. You happen to be the type of person who has a propensity towards making social content and you enjoy it, right? Like that's, right. My accountant probably doesn't enjoy it. You enjoy it, right? You had multiple channels that you had worked on for years prior to this one, right? So you had developed skill sets and you had been pushing really hard and you had perspective on scale and frequency of success. And then you finally find this one last thing with all of you have the drive, you have the interest, you understand how it works, like all these things, and you bring the cow inside, right? And it's like enough iterations. That's how we get this beautiful, like, oh my God, who would have ever thought of that? Yeah. Now in hindsight, it always seems like it makes us like, of course, just bring the cow inside. Like it would be good. But why didn't anybody else do it? Like, why wasn't anybody else getting after it? Like, and again, I'm not even close to on the same page as you, but in the podcast world, it was like, look, I moved here 3.5 years ago. So I didn't know anyone. Yeah. So I didn't have any ties or like history with a political group or an organization, and nobody knew me, right? And I also happened to have like started a podcast in California and started learning these different skill sets. And then like, it was like 4 or 5 different things came together, whereas like all of a sudden I'm interviewing people and people are like, wait, what's happening over there? Like, what is that? We're like we've never seen blah, blah, blah. And it's like, the odds of it happening. And now 3 years in, the odds of somebody going 3 years full time like this, and by the way, you got to do it for free for years, as you know.
Absolutely.
Odds of somebody doing that are so small. Yeah. And, but that's the beauty of this. It's like it finally comes out with free access for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you were talking about earlier, the honeymoon phase and all that, and now it's work. And, it's hard to remember that, how blessed I am that. And you are that we get to do this for a living. Like this is how we pay our bills, and like we don't have to go to a 9 to 5. And nothing against that people, if that's what you're into. But we don't have to do that, luckily. And like I said, it's a blessing, huge blessing. And you got to keep that in perspective. That thank God for all this. This is amazing.
Yeah. One thing that has actually served me really well is, and you could attest to this. We were talking off air. And now we're talking on air. Right. And who I am off air and on air, very similar. Except on air, I actually talk less. Because I get really excited.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, I've learned to rein myself in, when the interview starts. But it's like for me, it's just being me. I'm just, when we get to chat about whatever. And it seems like, and again, I don't know for sure, but like, it seems like you just actually enjoy hanging out with the animal, right? Like hanging out and doing funny things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely fun and rewarding, to, like you said, you post something and then look at the views and realize like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So cool. Like what is this I'm living? What is this? This does not happen. But I was curious about your, like, how do you get so many connections with people? Like you just reach out like the governor and like all these sheriffs and like what in the world? How do you even approach that?
Exactly. Like, why'd you bring the cow inside? Right. Like the universe just worked out in a way. I think ultimately the thing that sold people on coming in is that you'll never meet somebody who's come and done a show and said, I like messed with the editing. Like I've never messed with editing. I've never egged somebody on in a negative way. I've essentially just never betrayed anyone. Yeah. And on top of that, the quality, like you work on for years, it's like the quality kept getting better and better and better to the point where Like my big breakthrough. This was one of my first breakthroughs. I had in 22. One of my neighbors knew Sheriff Clifford and was like, "Hey, do you want to interview the sheriff?" Dude, you know how embarrassing this is. I thought Ada County was just Eagle and Meridian. God, I'm such a jackass. It's like, I'd been here for 9 months. I thought Boise was in Boise County.
Oh, nice.
God, it's painful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sheriff Clifford comes in, and I literally thought he was like this small town sheriff. Not the case. Anyway, so I have a conversation with him, and I'm not saying I did a great job with it, but he came in and he enjoyed the conversation enough, right? And he got reelected. Then a year later, there was all of this stuff going on in Eagle with the mayor and the city councilman who were running against each other for mayor, and they were fighting over law enforcement. Well, the law enforcement in Eagle is actually a contract city. It's a contract, right? So they don't have a police department that they fund. They contract with the county sheriff, and the county sheriff provides deputies that fill out the Eagle Police Department. Okay. And that's different from Meridian, who funds and executes on their own police department. Okay. So you have normal like Meridian, and then you have a contract where it's like, let's just pay the sheriff and they'll provide us, that. So I invited Sheriff Clifford on again to be like, hey, could you come on and explain contract cities? Because I don't understand it. And I don't think a lot of people understand it. So because I had the original conversation, he came on, and then I got all of the mayoral candidates, and then all the city council candidates, and then all of the school board people. So randomly I went from like, no one knew me to all of the people in the Eagle area coming on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh snap, that's great. So at the end of 23, I'm like, dude, I interviewed the mayor.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
That's so cool.
And from there, I got invited to a luncheon, and I met Phil McGrain, the Secretary of State. And I go up and like shake his hand. This was hilarious. I go up and shake. I'm like, hey, I'm Matt. Like, I run the ranch. And Phil's like super nice, right? He's like, oh yeah, I've heard of you. Great.
Oh, cool.
It's like, just big smile. I loved your present. I'd love to have you on. Your presentation was so great. He's like, yeah, thank you. I give him my card. He does not call me back.
Yeah.
But to his credit, like, it was like 5 months later, he was like, hey, do you want to, I think I reached out again, or he reached out. He's like, yeah, I'll do that show. So he came in April. Oh, wow. And in April, he came in, we had this awesome conversation, like learned all this stuff about the election system. And that started snowballing because people were like, that was a great conversation about the state of Idaho.
Yeah.
Right. I start finding out that a lot of the local high schools in their government classes are showing the podcast with the Secretary of State to their students.
Oh, cool.
Right. So this kid at YMCA is like, it's you. Yeah. You're the guy on the show. I was like, yeah, I guess.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So from there, I did a bunch of episodes about the election system with Phil in, I should say Secretary of State. It's like, whatever. in like October, and from there it like took off, right? So cool. It was literally just this slow roll of continuing to grind. But there, like you talk about, there was this broad swath of time where nothing was happening.
Yeah.
It was like January of 24, right after I came off the high of interviewing all the mayoral people in Eagle.
Yeah.
Until like September of 24. I was like, couldn't really get great. Like, I got fine guests, but nothing crazy was happening. I did have Phil McGrain in at one point, but other than that, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, This is not. And then all of a sudden it just took off.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to make some connections with you for other people that I know that at least are in the social media world.
Oh, I would love that.
Some people on. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I am so siloed. I don't go out. I don't meet other people. I don't do anything. So, meeting someone like you who obviously gets everything I get and then some, right? Like a lot. It's like, oh yeah. Because this can be really inherently limiting from a social standpoint, because you're probably at home working on your videos and I'm at home working on my videos. Right. And we don't have like a water cooler where we can share ideas.
Yeah.
And that, it works for focus because then you're not distracted.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's kind of like a lonely life.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But it goes back to being obsessed with it. You have to obsess over whatever it is you're into and really make it happen. It doesn't take, you have to do it. You can't just like sit back and be like, I'll get to it later or whatever, You got to do it now. Now's the time. Did
you ever come to a point of urgency where you saw a day that went by as like a day when you lost content?
No, I don't think so. Luckily I don't know. It's so different. Once again, this is so unique with the cow stuff. It's like
You don't have that same urgency of like, I have to put out 4 videos today. It's like, no, get the right video.
Yeah.
Wait.
For me, it's quality over quantity. Like I don't want to flood my page with just a bunch of crap and be like, yeah, no one wants to watch that, but I'm going to post it anyways. There's been a lot of videos that I have filmed and I didn't think they were good enough, so I just didn't post them. And it's hard to do.
That's a mark of quality. That's a mark of quality, man.
That's a very, very hard discipline to do that, to be like, oh, I put all this work in and I'm not going to post it. But I don't know. I typically try. I mean, that's been rare that happens, but I typically try to do only videos that I'm excited about anyways. So usually that's not the case, but it has been for sure.
Yeah. I have this problem just kind of like structurally, because I'll have conversations with people that I'm like, oh my God, like the 10 things I learned from that person are wild. Or let's just say 5. I talked to somebody for 45 minutes, an hour, 5 things come out. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's like, okay, but you published 2 episodes today, 2 conversations, which means you have 10 things from that you want to express. And by the way, you got another 2 episodes coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now you're 2 days, you're 48 hours in and you're 20 very important points down.
Yeah.
And so I have, for my stuff, I have so much quality stuff that comes out that I'm like, okay, what do I try to highlight for people? It's this, I actually thought about doing a parallel channel where I would do, it's like I have the Ranch podcast and then I do the Ranch podcast clips.
Oh yeah.
And then just essentially, like, if you want to hear more from this, just go to the Ranch podcast clip. So that one is not optimized. So like I can flood a lot there because it's like, whatever, if that grows or doesn't grow, it's essentially just a storehouse of highlights, right?
Genius.
And then, well, I don't know if it's genius. Do you think that's a good idea?
Oh, I think that's great.
God bless you, sir.
For sure.
I told somebody recently, they're like, that's a dumb idea. I'm like, is it though?
No, that's great.
Okay, great.
Especially if they're interested and invested in you and what you're doing, like they're going to be like, yeah, let's go over there and hear more.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times with these smaller clips of something, you're like, what about the rest of it? I want more detail, and you can't find it. It's just not there.
Right.
So with that, you would have that option at least.
Right.
People can go, watch a longer episode or a full episode.
And the platform problem is, I think, a real significant one. Like, I can put a 10-minute clip. I did this with the perfect example, the grocery bill. Okay, we have a grocery tax. Now, I don't know if you know this, you probably do, but you get taxed on your grocery bills, on your groceries, and then at the end of the year, when you file taxes, you file to get back your grocery tax.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay, so this is why they do that. You get your grocery tax back, or at least a portion of it based on the number of people you have in your household.
Okay.
But people that are not filing taxes, they don't get the money back. People traveling through the state of Idaho do not get the money back. People who are here, let's say in an unauthorized workforce, do not get the money back. So you have all of these categories of people, and specifically people coming from out of state to utilize our recreation and, whatever. They buy groceries. They go to Costco. They buy, the stuff for the cabin, whatever it is. They pay a grocery tax and they're not eligible to get it back. So if you're an Idaho resident and you file taxes, you get your grocery tax back. Huh. Now that's a complex concept, right?
Yeah.
So I had one of the reps, Jason Monks, he came in and he was like, listen, we don't need to eliminate it. We just need to increase the amount people can get back. And let's just make sure we inform people that they should file. Great. I put out a 10-minute clip of him talking about an Idaho grocery tax. And I put it on Instagram, right? And the longer clips don't go the same way, but it got like 60,000 views in like a week.
Wow.
And I got a hold of Jason. I was like, listen, what would you have to do to educate 60,000 Idahoans for 10 minutes about the grocery tax? Like, what communication platform do you have that you could do that? He's like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't exist.
Right.
But if you put that same clip on YouTube, you'd get like 100 views.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who wants to listen about a grocery tax? So there's a distinction between the platforms where YouTube is very much a permission-based platform, because that's the whole game with thumbnails and stuff. Like, the thumbnail and the titling is really what you have to hit hard.
Yeah.
Whereas on Instagram, it's the content that starts playing right away. And then people decide whether they want to watch based on the content.
Yeah. I've been super happy with Instagram's algorithm, and I don't know, they haven't given me any flack at all. Which I was kind of surprised initially, but yeah, they've been amazing. Like, just really suggesting, pushing my stuff, and they even featured me on their own like Instagram account, the big
Of course
account.
they did. You have the most baller account I've ever seen.
That's been something that's been amazing is like the reach that I've gotten from, I don't know, people that I've been fans of forever, like Tony Hawk. One day I was just like going through my stuff and it's like, Tony Hawk liked your video. And I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world? How is that possible? And then so I reached out to him and he's like, he loves Bruce and, he sent me a skateboard that he signed and yeah, he's all about it. And he was like, hey, if you're ever in the area, or I actually asked him, I shouldn't say that. I asked him like, hey, if we can make it down there, would you want to collab on a video? And he was like, yes, let's do it. And so I got to get Bruce down to San Diego and do a video with Tony Hawk.
That's so awesome. I put out nothing like that, but I put out a clip from one of these old fishing game guys. It's hilarious. He came in with this shirt that had like fish and moose on it and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Big old suspenders. Pat Cudmore put out a clip from him, and it got shared by Cam Haynes. I was like,
cool.
Cam Haynes,
dude, that's
and then
awesome.
who is the guy? Dana Harvey?
I don't know.
Okay, Tommy Boy. Who's that guy?
David Spade?
Yes, David Spade. Not Dana Carvey's also a comedian, right?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of him.
Okay, but it was David Spade. Anyway, he liked and shared one of my videos, and I was so blown. I was like, I screenshotted it, and I was like, it's
That's so cool.
David Spade.
Yeah.
And I was like, this can't be the real one. I clicked on it. It was like 3 million followers. I'm like, it's really David Spade.
That's so cool. It's so neat to do that. I'm a huge fan of The Office, the show, TV show. TV
yeah.
series.
Did
huge
Steve
fan.
Carell?
No. But I've been reaching out to like all these different people, and I was hoping to get Brian Baumgartner. Oh yeah, of course Dwight would be amazing, but specifically Kevin, because he's all about the food, and I wanted to replicate their corner of The Office, the accounting part, and have like a jar of M&Ms, and then have actual Brian there filming with us, and Bruce just getting into his M&Ms and he's upset, but I wasn't able to get a hold of him, unfortunately. But I did talk
his
to
loss.
no, I mean, I'm sure he's a busy guy, but
Yeah.
I love that show anyways. But Craig Robinson, Daryl from the show, I was able to get a hold of him, and he was like, yeah, if I'm up there again. He was in LeGrand recently and was like, man, we should have. But it was after I reached out to him, so it's like, dang it. But so I don't know. There's been a lot of people that I've been able to make connections with.
If you got Kevin, you should reproduce the chili pot episode.
Yeah, that would
He's
be
like,
awesome.
all of the ingredients get to know each other in the pot.
Yeah, that's
And he
perfect,
falls.
dude.
So he would be like Bruce bumping into him.
That's
Spills it
better.
everywhere.
That's better than my M&M idea. He comes in with the chili and Bruce just knocks it over. I love it. That's way better. I'm taking that, all right? I got your permission, right?
If you do it, just let me be in the room. I just want to be standing in the back. I will be quiet. I promise it's hard,
Deal.
but I'll do it.
You got to do.
Yeah, all of those, it's just that show was really, really good.
Yeah, so good.
That show was, do you know they were going to do a spinoff called The Farm? That was going to be focused on Dwight. They did a pilot. They couldn't get it going.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. The thing with Dwight is he's really good as a foil, but like as the main guy, like when he was the manager, he did an okay job when he was manager. I mean, nobody beats Steve Carell, right?
Yeah,
like that's
for sure.
There's that. But it's almost like he can't be the main focus. He has to be like the X Factor. You ever read Ender's Game?
I don't.
Ender's Game, the book?
Never.
No?
I'm not big on reading, man.
It's audiobooks, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. I know. I got to read a book right now. My sister called me last night. She's like, I want to start a book club and you're in it. I was like, I've never been a part of a book club and I don't like reading, but let's do it.
Dude, somebody, a dear friend of mine recently was like, hey, I want you to read this book. I'm like, oh God.
Exactly.
She's like, and here's the thing. I will even engage in the audiobook. Like I'll listen to an audiobook 100%. I got no problem with that. But I don't want to be in a book club.
Yeah.
I don't want to like sit around and talk to people about a book. Like,
well, luckily my sister's in Oregon, so I don't have
so
to
it'll
like
be on
sit
Zoom.
around. Yeah,
That'll be even better.
Yeah, just
yeah,
be like
because
a group.
who else wants to sit around and have a Zoom book club?
Yeah.
Like,
that's even worse than in person.
it makes me want to scratch my tongue.
Well, like I said, my sister, I love her to death, so yeah, I'll do it for her.
Oh
We're
my
gonna
God,
read
you're a good
the,
person.
the 4 agreements. That's what we're gonna read. I guess it's.
Oh, that's like a self-help book, right? Like you agree to forgive yourself and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I haven't started it yet, but yeah.
Not that I've read it.
Yeah, but something along those lines. Yeah, bettering your life and self-improvement.
Yeah. A friend of mine, actually, the only really good self-help recommendation, oddly enough, that not odd, but a friend of mine told me, it was like in 21, and he's like, listen, man, I was really struggling, in my former community, and I'm again, a huge jiu-jitsu guy. If jiu-jitsu is your life and you go through what we went through, where it's like, no, you can't even be within 6 feet of people. It's like, okay, hang on a second. Because normally, like, every day with my best friends, we're like in pajamas trying to choke each other to death. Like, there's no separation here at all. Like, I know what kind of toothpaste that guy uses. Like, so that came out wrong. But the point is, like, I was going through this really, really tough time. And this buddy of mine, Todd, was like, you got to give yourself grace. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you have to give yourself grace and compassion like you would give someone else. And, for grinders, compassion is not on the number one thing to eat for breakfast. It's like self-deprecation and like get after it and it sucks because it's your fault.
Right.
Like fix it.
Yeah.
But in that view was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Like, and in being a parent.
Yeah.
If you don't give yourself grace and realize like, yeah, man, if I knew what I knew 6 years ago, I probably wouldn't have done that thing.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't have yelled at you, or I would have been more patient with you. And it's just, you got to, like, we can't take those moments back. You got to give yourself grace.
For sure. And that,
I don't know if that's one of the agreements, but
I don't know yet either.
Probably is. Tell me.
I'll let you know. Yeah. With the kids stuff, it's, with my boys, at least there's a lot of that where it's like, man, the first kid really kind of suffered with everything, And the second kid, you learned a lot, what you would have changed and would have done different. And luckily, my oldest boy is amazing and super patient and super understanding. He's just an amazing kid. So I don't know. It's been easy in that aspect, but the next kid gets it a lot easier. The third kid, a lot easier. And my fourth boy is like, whatever, he's got life so good. And like, I feel like I've kind of dialed it in now to, I don't know, be more patient.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing is being patient with kids and just understanding and having a light heart, being lighthearted, I think is huge with kids, where it's just like, that really doesn't matter. That you just broke that lamp. It doesn't matter. It's a lamp. Yeah. And I tried to, with my youngest, cause he beats himself up, day before, he dropped his iPad, broke the screen. And he's like, he just instantly starts crying, like, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry. Like, it's fine. This is a thing. This is an object. This is a materialistic thing that you don't need. We don't need this. It's just, and it was an accident, really.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Right.
And it's hard to do that, like with the first kid, when you don't know what you're doing. You're a kid yourself, raising kids. It's like, it's hard to get that, but
yeah. I had a first yesterday that was pretty wild. So we have a picture of me. I was 30. Okay. And my oldest, he had to be like 10 months old at the time, maybe 9 months old.
Yeah.
He was strapped to me in a Bjorn, forward facing. And we had a really small house. So I was making a world famous cloffice. So I literally took one of our closets and made a whole office. Like, I was building cabinets, I built a desk, and you would just slide the door open, slide the door shut, you don't know what's in there, slide it open, and it's like the cloffice, right?
Yeah.
Because we, again, living in a tiny house. And so I had this drill, DeWalt 12 volt impact driver.
Yeah.
And I was doing this thing, and he is strapped to me, and his little tiny hand is on the back of the drill, helping me push it forward, right? So there's this picture that we have in our house. It's just beautiful, beautiful picture. It's very touching every time I see it. It's like, you have a lot of kid photos, and then occasionally you see one, you're like,
yeah,
that's the one.
Yep, for sure.
And last night we're building the table, and he's 13, and I give him the drill, the impact driver that I was using.
The same one. Oh,
same
wow.
one, because I still have it. I was like, this is your drill. You're going to use this. Don't put it down. Don't put your tools down. You're always going to lose them. And it was the first time I really got to be like, okay, this is how we build things. And he's using like this nail gun, and he's using the drill. And it was me and my wife and he were out there building this thing. And it was like, dude, damn it, man. Amazing. I've been waiting 13 years to be able to do this with you. Yeah. Like, you don't know how long I've been
Yeah.
I mean, it just really hit me last night for some reason.
Dude,
I love kids.
That's super touching. And that's amazing because being able to have that relationship with your kid is, man, that's crazy. I mean, I can relate. And so, that touches me big time for sure. That's awesome.
Boys are a lot.
Yeah, they're amazing though.
Listen, man, I've had you here for way too long. We've been going for like an hour and a half.
Oh, sweet.
I feel like, listen, thank you for taking the time to come in here. You absolutely did not need to. And thank you for giving me the follow. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'd love to meet Bruce one day.
Yeah,
It
please.
would be fantastic. I got to pick your brain about a bunch of things too.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time, so I can come back anytime. We'll do this again.
I would really, really like that, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming in. We'll do it again.
Yeah, sounds good.